This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Over the weekend, President Trump took to social media demanding an apology from Governor Mills over their ongoing dispute regarding transgender athletes. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Devin Dagnall. On Saturday, the president made a post on the platform Truth Social, calling for a, quote, full-throated apology from Governor Mills over what the president described as an unlawful challenge to the federal government. Governor Mills spoke with members of the media during an event in Bangor today. When asked if she plans to issue an apology, she told reporters she does not communicate with public officials over social media.
My issue is about the rule of law, pure and simple. It's not about transgender sports. It's about who makes the laws and who enforces the laws. I read the Constitution. The Constitution says that the President, the Chief Executive, shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. It doesn't allow him to make laws out of whole cloth by tweet or Instagram post or press release or executive order. That's just fundamental law, and I stand for the rule of law and the separation of powers.
In other news tonight, a Holden man convicted of multiple charges after hitting an 86-year-old man with his car in Brewer has been arrested for a second time after his conviction. According to the Holden Police Department, 53-year-old David McKenzie of Holden was previously arrested for aggravated assault while out on post-conviction bail. After a hearing, authorities determined McKenzie violated the terms of his bail. As a result, he was placed under house arrest and instructed to not contact a witness in his criminal case. Recently, Holden police received anonymous reports McKenzie was violating his house arrest conditions and having contact with said witness. According to Holden police, around 9:30 on Saturday, March 22nd, an officer observed McKenzie and the witness pull into McKenzie's residence. The officer allegedly made several attempts with his public address system and by knocking to get McKenzie to exit the residence, but he refused to do so. A warrant was later obtained. With assistance from Brewer Police and State Police, entry was made into the residence where McKenzie was arrested without incident. The witness was also found hiding in the residence. McKenzie is now being held at the Penobscot County Jail without bail.
The woman charged with murder in the death of her boyfriend in Etna last week had her initial court appearance delayed. 36-year-old Heidi Tasker is accused of fatally stabbing 41-year-old Luke Norris at their residence on the Old Country Road in Etna on Friday. Police officers found him dead inside when they responded to a 911 call from the residence. Tasker appeared in court this morning by video call. After conversations with the defense and the prosecution, the judge agreed to delay the proceeding for a week. Tasker will undergo a mental competency evaluation to see if she is able to understand the charge against her.
Well, people gathered in Augusta today to testify for a bill they say would increase access to mental health care across the state. Our Callie Warren has the story.
Supporters of LD 653 made their voices heard at Maine's Capitol on Monday. It's a bill that would require Maine's Health and Human Services to apply for a federal waiver that would allow for Medicaid to pay for inpatient mental health care treatment at larger facilities.
I implore you to support LD 563. Maine citizens deserve access to the same comprehensive care that my son receives in New Hampshire.
Something that many states in the Northeast, including New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts, already have done.
It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't happen so much in other places. New Jersey hasn't had a mental illness tragedy since 2004.
Supporters say it could help prevent mental illness-related tragedies.
My brother Robert Card II took 18 innocent lives and traumatized an entire community. While not everyone with psychosis requires hospitalization, some, like my brother, who experienced psychosis with anosognosia, do, for their own safety and the safety of others.
And could keep those with serious mental illnesses out of incarceration while providing better care and treatment.
Well, if we can get this bill through, then obviously, to add ACT teams, to add behavioral health liaisons with police, to add transitional housing. I mean, it's costing the state so much more money to not do something than if they actually did something.
Currently, a federal waiver is in place for Maine DHHS to use MaineCare to cover substance use disorder-related stays in mental institutions. MaineCare personnel say they are planning to expand the renewal of that waiver to include mental health-related inpatient and transitional care, which they expect to likely take more than 2 years.
This waiver application will also meet the requirement of this proposed LD.
2 public hearings will be held in April to receive public comment on this current plan. In Augusta, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In observation of the Affordable Care Act turning 15 years old, Democratic leadership and policy advocates met virtually today to highlight what they say are ongoing threats to the American healthcare system. Representatives from Protect Our Care, Consumers for Affordable Care, and Maine Children's Alliance, along with Maine's Assistant House Leader Lori Grimlich, spoke during the event. According to the speakers, congressional Republicans are attempting to, quote, rip away access to quality, affordable health coverage by taking tax credits away from working families.
There are a number of bills coming before the Health Coverage Insurance Financial Services Committee that aim to address some of this. I encourage you to contact your elected officials, both in the state of Maine and certainly at the national level, so that they can understand why this is a critically important initiative that we cannot do without.
Well, transitional housing is coming to the Belfast area. The Mid-Coast Maine Homeless Coalition is teaming up with the Belfast United Methodist Church to offer a transitional housing facility inside the church's building for up to 4 families. The proposal has received support from the Belfast City Council and Planning Board. At last week's Town Council meeting, amendments to several city ordinances were approved in order to proceed with the project. Belfast City Manager Eric Sanders says there's a big need for families who have lost housing, and the space being offered at the church will not be a homeless shelter, but rather smaller apartment-type spaces on the bottom floor of the building with bathrooms and kitchens. Families will have to apply and be approved by the Mid-Coast Maine Homeless Coalition before they can use the property.
A Bangor man is pushing for legislation regarding the safe disposal of single-use propane containers. Alex Cole says there's no recommended way to safely dispose of non-refillable propane containers like those typically used for space heaters. He worked with several Maine legislators on LD 1035, which will look into safe disposal methods and could potentially impose a ban on single-use non-recyclable containers.
Eventually, I hope to see only recyclable tanks, refillable rated tanks being used, and I think that's the best and safest method forward. But ultimately, I think we need to start somewhere, and somewhere involves having a place to dispose of these tanks without worried about it exploding.
A public hearing on the bill was held today at the Environment and National Resources Committee. For more information on the bill, visit the story on our website.
Last month, residents of the Cedar Falls Mobile Home Park in Bangor closed a deal officially obtaining ownership of the park. Now the residents' cooperative is looking towards expanding even further to address the area's housing crisis. Our Grace Blanchard shares more.
After months of fundraising efforts, a team of residents who have called the Cedar Falls Mobile Home Park in Bangor home for years have officially taken over ownership of the park.
I'm feeling great. It's become a community. Everybody talks to one another. It's really great.
When the park went up for sale last year, the more than 100 households became fearful new ownership could lead to potential evictions or hikes in rent.
We could have lost our homes. From what I heard, that was the plan from the corporation that wanted to buy. They were going to evict all of us.
No one should be afraid that a surprise rent increase will break the bank.
A team of residents led by longtime resident Ronnie Pinkham formed a cooperative and are now the second mobile home community to achieve resident ownership under a new state law.
When they wake up in the morning, they can step out on the grass and say, whoa, I own it. I'm safe. I don't have to worry about somebody kicking me out.
Now with the ability to expand, they are partnering with Bangor Housing to provide up to 80 additional lots.
When you have a city like Bangor that's in a housing crisis, any supply is a huge piece to fixing that.
By 2035, the executive director of Bangor Housing says Maine is expected to be short around 80,000 homes. Myatt says they hope to fill 28 vacant lots in the mobile home park by this summer.
Anything that we can build is going to help with that supply issue, which ultimately, if we can do enough, is going to help with the affordability.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, let's hit pause for a moment and get a first check of that forecast.
Thank you very much, Beth and Devin. Our first weather today is brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Seeing lots of snow out there right now. We had a break earlier, but now it is heavy, thick, wet snow falling right around an inch per hour here over Bangor and across many other areas in our central and eastern viewing area. As we can see, a little bit of wintry mix still possible down there. That's going to become a little bit more likely as we head into tonight. So wind speeds out there, not bad at all. 3 miles per hour here in Bangor. Some areas seen a 0 on the board, but maybe some breezy winds by the coast, right around 12 to 15 miles per hour. We're not going to see anything too much windier until we get into tomorrow. So as we see out there for tonight, right around 9 o'clock is when that wintry mix can kind of make its way in. A little bit of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow is possible. That will kind of linger till about midnight, maybe about an hour after as well. Lots of snow still falling up near Presque Isle as we continue on. Decreasing clouds, but then we are going to see another chance for some more rain and snow showers going into tomorrow afternoon. Taking a look at tonight, those temperatures are going to be right around the mid-20s for lows, and we will see those chances for a wintry mix lingering on in the very early portions of tonight. Beth and Devin?
Chase, thank you so much. And coming up, a look at some of your national headlines. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Dave from PDQ Door. For a brighter, quieter, smarter garage door, call PDQ Door. You can count on LiftMaster openers, and for the best prices and best service, you can count on PDQ Door. Visit us online at pdqdoor.com, where we sell the best and service the rest.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
During Chevy Truck Month, well-qualified buyers get 2.9% APR for 72 months when you finance with GM Financial, or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, watch this.
I got hurt bad in this accident, so I called the Twos. The Twos guy turned this accident into $195,000.
The Twos guy turned this accident into $260,000.
I get a lot of money for a lot of Mainers. Money for lost earnings, money for medical bills, and money for all your pain and suffering.
$400,000 for my case.
Hurt in a car accident? I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
When it comes to your home, go to the source. Go to R&B's Home Source in Madison. R&B's Home Source has home comfort, convenience, and savings all wrapped up in one location. From the living room to the dining room to the bedroom, we have some of the best values in furniture and bedding. For the kitchen, R&B's Home Source has top-notch appliances from fridges to ranges, even washers and dryers. And sit back and relax with quality electronics. We service everything we sell too. For your home, go to the source. R&B's Home Source, Lakewood Road, Madison.
Hi, I'm Dave from PDQ Door. For over 30 years, we've been delivering top-notch service to the state of Maine. We're proud to be your trusted and first choice for garage door repair and LiftMaster openers. Visit us online at pdqdoor.com, where we sell the best and service the rest.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Today, the showdown escalates between President Trump and a federal court surrounding hundreds of Venezuelan migrants deported from the U.S. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with the details on today's ruling.
President Trump today refusing to back down on deportations.
We're getting the bad ones out first, and we're taking them out. And there's some really bad ones.
But today, federal judge James Boasberg ruled hundreds of Venezuelan migrants deported last week were denied due process. ABC's Karen Travers questioned the president about that on Friday.
Mr. President, do you think you have the authority, the power to round up people, deport them, and then you're under no obligation to a court to show the evidence against them?
Well, that's what the law says, and that's what our country needs.
In his ruling on the migrants today, Judge Boasberg said President Trump's unprecedented use of the Alien Enemies Act does not remove the government's responsibility to ensure the men could contest their designation as alleged gang members, as the White House maintains, without providing any proof. The administration went ahead with the deportations despite the judge's initial ruling to turn the planes carrying them around. The judge adding that the men were harmed by their removal to an El Salvadorian prison where they faced torture, beatings, and even death. Even before today's ruling, the Trump administration asking an appeals court to step in as the president questions the impartiality of Boasberg. Early this morning, another 200 Venezuelan nationals were deported by the Trump administration, arriving overnight in the capital of Caracas. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said to visit the notorious prison in El Salvador that the U.S. is paying to hold the Venezuelan immigrants.
We're making sure that there's consequences for being here and committing crimes in our communities.
Today, as the appeals court heard arguments in President Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act, two of the judges appeared to agree on one thing. The president's actions have brought the court into unprecedented territory. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, our Jody Hersey went to China to highlight the work being done at #Leatherworks.
And in sports, Maine hockey has their opponent and location for the NCAA tournament. That story is right after the break.
Or get this low-mileage lease on this 2025 Cadillac XT5 Luxury for around $499 per month. Visit Court Cadillac in Bangor.
Here we are, patient billing.
Whoa, who's that?
Oh, well, that's Mark. He marks up medicines.
340B medicine markups?
Bingo. As a nonprofit, we might pay a penny for a medicine. Mark marks it up to thousands of dollars, and we pocket the difference.
I hear we're buying up small hospitals, too.
More medicines to mark up.
Hi everyone, Troy Pearl here. For a decade, Renewal by Andersen has been so much more than just a window and door replacement company. We've been your neighbors, your partners, your friends, growing together in a community we all proudly call home. From campuses to concerts, we've enjoyed entertainment together, celebrated life's milestones, and enhanced homes and lives. We couldn't have done it without the incredible support of our suppliers, providing us with top-notch products, and a special shout-out to our dedicated employees. You are the heart and soul of Renewal by Andersen. Your hard work, passion, and commitment to excellence inspires us every day. As we celebrate our 10th anniversary, we're overflowing with gratitude. Our journey has been fueled by a commitment to giving back through charitable organizations that uplift our community, reminding us that every window we replace isn't just about homes. It's about creating a better future for all. Thank you, everyone who has made 10 years possible. Here's to many more.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
It is NCAA Tournament Week. Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. In just a matter of days, Maine hockey is back on the ice for the first round of the NCAA tournament. And on Sunday, the Black Bears finding out the who, whats, whens, and wheres of the first round. After winning the Hockey East Championship this past weekend, the Black Bears are the #3 overall seed in the NCAA tournament, and Maine will play the 14th overall seed, the Penn State Nittany Lions. The Black Bears are heading to Allentown, Pennsylvania for the first and hopefully second round. And they say taking care of business at the Garden is a huge boost as they focus on chasing a national championship.
You know, playing at the Garden, playing in front of 17,000 fans, you know, that's a big game, big atmosphere, and it gives us a lot of experience, a lot of momentum, like you said. Just being in those positions, being in those high-pressure moments. You know, when everything's on the line, you got to be able to stay calm, composed. So those games really helped a lot with that.
Maine returned to Orono on Saturday to a swarm of fans at the Alphon greeting them, and an even bigger swarm took over Boston this past weekend. It's going to be a different feel in Allentown, though, where Penn State will have a home ice advantage there, but Maine is ready for the challenge, and they're still expecting some blue in the crowd down in PA as well.
It's definitely going to be a good test. You know, obviously it's near Penn State, and I'm sure both fan bases will be nuts, and it's probably the two craziest fan bases. So Juice will definitely be in the building, that's for sure.
I still think that Maine fans have the best fans in college hockey, and I've already talked to a lot of them, and it sounds like people want to travel. So I have no doubt that there's going to be some blue Maine fans in the stands. So they'll get out and they'll support us.
That game is at 8:30 on Friday night. Winner plays on Sunday. Over to some basketball now. The first weekend of the NCAA tournament is in the books, and we are on to the Sweet 16. Cooper Flagg and the Duke Blue Devils showing they earned that top seed, rolling through the opening rounds. The top seeded Blue Devils surviving and advancing, but more like thriving. Duke dismantled Mount St. Mary's in round 1 before taking down 9-seed Baylor 89-66 on Sunday to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. Cooper had a huge game in Duke's win over the Bears with 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. And now he and the Blue Devils, they're just 2 wins away from heading to the Final Four.
Just getting downhill, getting in the paint is when good things happen all around. So whether it's kicking out for threes or, like you said, getting fouled. So that's definitely something that we emphasize going into every game, just getting in the paint, trying to make plays.
Coop and the Blue Devils are off until Friday night when they play Arizona at 9:30. Winner to the Elite Eight. That is all the time we have for sports. Here's Chase Ropenack with your full 5-day forecast.
All right, thank you, Tyler. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln. Blazing Trails provides outstanding products and customer service to Penobscot County. Blazing Trails, they're blazing the trails to holistic medicine. All right, so out there for highs today, right around the low 30s here in Bangor, mid to upper 30s for areas like Bar Harbor into Rockland. Same for many areas along the southwestern portion of the state as well. But as we go north, temperatures a little bit cooler, mid to upper 20s for Millinocket, upper 20s for Holton, right around 30 in Presque Isle, but still many areas in those mid to upper 20s as well throughout Greenville and Clayton Lake. So as we see going into tonight, our temperature is going to be right around those mid to upper 20s. We'll see those mid 20s here in Bangor, maybe some upper 20s as well along the coast, but most likely going to stay warmer right around those low to mid 30s as well. Some 30s possible in Monson, Millinocket right around those low to mid 20s. We're going to see that going into Caribou. Many other areas are going to be right around freezing or just below in those mid to upper 20s for lows tonight. Get into tomorrow, we're going to warm back up into those mid 40s. We're going to see right around 3 to 5 o'clock. That's where we're going to be hitting right around 45 degrees. Same for areas near the southwestern portion of the state and along the coastline. Could see some areas close to 50 for tomorrow near Portland. Other than that, we're going to stay cooler up north. The temperatures in the mid 30s near Clayton Lake and Caribou. Average highs this time of year right around 43 degrees, and we're going to be pretty close to average, maybe a little bit above for these next few days, especially going to Thursday, that high near 47, but right on average for Friday, and then a little bit below going into your weekend, into the beginning of the work week next week. We'll see those temperatures in the mid to upper 30s Sunday into Monday. So right now we do have a winter weather advisory in place. This will expire right around 2 a.m. for tonight. That's when we expect some of that wintry mix to move out of the area. Still going to be lingering though in the eastern portion of the state. Other than that, there's just a small craft advisory along the coast, but winds have not been too bad with this system out there. So right now we're seeing heavy wet snow fall across much of our viewing area. It's falling around an inch per hour at times, but we are going to see a little bit of a wintry mix start to push in. You can see that rain just along the southwestern portion of the coast right now. That's going to make its way inland just into Bangor, probably bring a little bit of freezing rain at first, sleet, and then maybe some rain after that as well. So that will be occurring right around 8 to 9 o'clock, lingering into midnight, maybe an hour after as well, but other than that, will dry out. And we see still some snow up near Presque Isle, so if you live in Presque Isle, just expect that snow to keep lingering overnight. As we get into tomorrow afternoon, another chance for some rain and snow showers out there. So definitely going to be a little bit messy tomorrow afternoon, as some areas may see rain, some areas may be seeing snow, maybe even a little bit of a wintry mix mixed in there as well. But as we get into your Wednesday afternoon, another chance for some wintry mix. I think it's most likely going to be rain with those highs in the mid 40s. So for tonight, lows right around 26 degrees. We've got that wintry mix earlier on. There's going to be some patchy fog out there after midnight, so be careful of that as well on the roads. But winds will be light from the east, right around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, highs in the mid 40s. Rain and snow showers will be across our viewing area for tomorrow, with winds pretty light from the southwest near 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at your extended forecast, temperatures are going to be around the 40s throughout the next 5 days. Will be right around 47 for Thursday, mostly sunny skies. 43 for Friday, slight chance for some rain or snow showers, and going into Saturday, cooling off with a high near 40 degrees. Beth and Devin.
All right, thank you, Chase, and we will be right back.
For the best selection in classic and contemporary furnishings, stop by Richard Parks Furniture on High Street in Ellsworth. Handcrafted New England-made bedrooms and dining rooms, imported Scandinavian recliners and upholstery, more than 40 lines of furniture for the home and patio. Richard Parks Furniture is your #1 stop for quality, functionality, and well-designed furniture at affordable prices. Richard Parks Furniture.
Discover Richard Parks.
132 High Street in Ellsworth.
Discover Richard Parks.
All across our state, American-made clean energy has created over 2,400 good-paying jobs while lowering energy costs for Mainers. Farmers across the state are earning millions in income through long-term land leases from clean energy projects. Homegrown power from wind and solar are driving American energy dominance and powering our future. Maine wins with clean energy. Call Senator Collins and thank her for supporting an all-of-the-above energy strategy that creates jobs in our state.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Hey, there he is. Let's do this.
You could get 4.99 for 60 on an adventure-seeking all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
There was no salt or sand.
And because of that, I slipped and fell.
You need a powerful law firm to go after every dollar you may deserve.
I needed to protect my rights.
Call Joe, the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
I never thought I'd get that much.
Did you know that 50% of the air you breathe in your home is air that comes from Hafford Basement Systems? All things basementy. A wet, damp basement is a real problem. It can damage your valuables, worsen asthma and allergies, and affect indoor air quality. We'll transform your basement into a dry, usable space and improve the health of your entire home. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems for all things basementy.
A Maine veteran has found a new calling, and as Jody Hersey tells us, this new mission runs in his family.
Travis Hill served in both the Maine Air National Guard and Army National Guard, but these days his calling is leather.
But most people in Maine, they have a history with leather. It was, there were tanneries throughout the whole state. So from grandparents to parents, all being involved in leather.
Hill's own family worked in the industry.
My grandparents both worked at Farmington Shoe, and my grandmother worked there for, I believe, decades. It was years and years. And on the weekends, they actually had a small shoe shop that they created in their home garage. And they were a huge square dancing couple. And so what they would do is produce like fancy shoes, dancing shoes, square dancing shoes for their family, friends, and themselves.
Travis is the owner of #Leatherworks, which he operates out of his home in China, Maine, cutting and stitching by machine or by hand before his products are shipped to customers.
Some people like the added effect of hand stitching. Some people don't care, either way. But I just know for my own well-being, when I send a bag, I've never had a bag returned. I've never had one in 7 years fall apart. And so I know that I'm doing something right.
His bags, totes, checkbook covers, and other items are all available online or at area craft fairs. He just wishes his grandparents were still around to see his work.
It's such an old art, and I wish that I could have seen them working in their shop, with the tools that they did. And especially knowing that it was a hobby, kind of like mine started off as a hobby. I just think it's fantastic. It really just, ties the whole family together.
In China, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
There we go.
Saw a couple things on that table that looked intriguing.
Yeah, absolutely. Just some really beautiful leather work.
Yeah.
Anybody would be fortunate to have their hands on that.
And that is something I know absolutely nothing about. So watching craftsmen like that work is just absolutely fascinating.
Same here. It's all Greek to me, but just seeing it come together, it looks amazing.
It does look amazing. All right, that's going to do it for us, folks. From everybody here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great night.
And for more of your local news, tune in to Fox 22 News Tonight at 6:30.
This week, after being face-to-face with voters at
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook
and follow us on Twitter.
Okay. May I see pictures of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see an estimate for the damage replacement? Good. We're done. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600.
Your Honor,
Thank
what
you.
about
That's
the
it.
counterclaim?
We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
She was drunk and intoxicated that night, and she just, I guess, didn't like the fact that I didn't want to be friends with her.
Well, because obviously she's always had problems with me, jealousy or whatever it may be since high school.
She kicked it while I was getting in, and she had cowboy boots on. That's why there was a big dent.
Her normal self, trying to pick a fight, probably just to get money.
I go to school out in Texas, so I just got rid of the drama when I left to go back to college.
I will never speak to that girl again.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
Over the weekend, President Trump took to social media demanding an apology from Governor Mills over their ongoing dispute regarding transgender athletes. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Devin Dagnall. On Saturday, the president made a post on the platform Truth Social calling for a, quote, full-throated apology from Governor Mills over what the president described as an unlawful challenge to the federal government. Governor Mills spoke with members of the media during an event in Bangor today. When asked if she plans to issue an apology, she told reporters she does not communicate with public officials over social media.
My issue is about the rule of law, pure and simple. It's not about transgender sports. It's about who makes the laws and who enforces the laws. I read the Constitution. The Constitution says that the president, the chief executive, shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. It doesn't